My son got me to watch every single episode of rezero. But why this particular anime out of the 100 or so that he's watched? It certainly wasn't something simple, like rezero just being a standout isekai. It wasn't even about Subaru's journey with his parents, although that episode still lives rent-free in my head. He knew that underneath the isekai elements was a story built entirely around people. Now this is obvious to anyone who has watched rezero, but to someone who has been burnt out by working in and around the anime industry, this took a while for me to warm up to. And the longer I watched, despite stubbornly trying not to enjoy it, the more obvious that became. One of the things that surprised me most was just how attached I became to the cast. Not just Subaru, everyone. Characters I couldn't stand at first gradually became some of my favourites. Garfield is probably the best example of this. Early on, I just wanted Subaru to get past him so we could move on with the story. A season later and I'm sat there cheering for him. Then there's Otto. I honestly thought he was really dull. I remember thinking, why is this guy still around? Now he's one of my favourites. He cares deeply, always has Subaru's back, and honestly, if he was my friend, I trust him with just about anything. The thing rezero does brilliantly is that it gives people room to grow. Nobody is exactly who they appear to be when you first meet them, especially Subaru. Because despite everything he's capable of, despite everything he survives, he gets things wrong, sometimes spectacularly, but he keeps going. And I think that's why so many people connect with him, not because he's powerful, but because he's relatable. The same applies to the villains. Betelgeuse is such an unsettling character, but the more rezero reveals about its antagonists, the more complicated they become. That's something I really came to appreciate as the series went on. Nobody feels like they're there just to move the plot forward. All of these villains have their own distinct, twisted desires, philosophies and goals. And the way these motives intersect with Subaru's journey creates an incredibly chaotic and unpredictable web. Speaking of something unpredictable, because of that last rezero video, our channel just jumped from 200 subscribers to 300 subscribers in just 48 hours. I just want to take a second to say thank you to everyone who's watched the video or subscribed. It really, really means a lot. By the time I caught up, I'd reached a strange point where I wasn't watching rezero just because I wanted answers anymore. I was watching because I genuinely cared about these people, and that's what makes this series so incredible. It's not like some anime that are popular primarily for their good animation. I won't mention any names. Although White Fox deserves plenty of credit, it is a great looking show. Somehow, my son knew that after years of working around anime, years of watching shows come and go, years of gradually feeling less excited about the medium, this was the sort of story that could still break through all of that. What I didn't expect was what happened when I finished it. Usually when I finish a show, that's it. I enjoy it and move on. Maybe I recommend it to someone, or maybe I just forget about it. rezero was different. When I reached the end, I wasn't satisfied. For the first time in over a decade, I needed more. So I bought the first 3 light novels just to see how deep this rabbit hole actually goes. Not for a future video or for work-related research, I just wanted more for myself. When an anime forces someone who was burnt out from working in the industry to go back and read the source material just to get a fix, you know the storytelling is doing something legendary. And the fact this recommendation came from my son makes it mean even more. I think back to the time when we were living in Japan and I would share classic anime series with him when he was little. Except this time, the roles flipped. The student became the master and he brought me back to a medium I thought I'd left behind. So there we have it. My son made me watch rezero and somehow he knew exactly what I needed to watch before I did. And if you haven't watched it yet, this is your sign to finally give it a chance. If you have watched it, let me know who your favourite character is or your favourite arc in the comments below.